Hey there, baseball fans. It's Ben, and today I'm showing you the collection of Sammy Sosa cards that I collected through the last year or so of opening packs and boxes and collections. Sammy Sosa, a very controversial figure in baseball history. You know, as you guys know, I grew up a Cubs fan, so I have a special place in my heart for Sammy Sosa. He brought such excitement to the game alongside Mark McGwire in 1998 when they were vying for trying to break Roger Maris' single-season home run record. Besides that, he also hit 60 home runs or over 3 times in his career, the only player to ever do that. Now, I know that that is all tainted because look at him here, looking very svelte and fit, and then you kind of get a little further on and you're like, I mean, it's hard to imagine he did not take performance-enhancing drugs. Now, I'm sure when he testified that he never injected or took drugs like that, he's kind of like rationalizing it for himself. There was some kind of performance-enhancing material that was happening with this guy. I'm sure of it. That said, I do feel like he was a little bit fairly undealt with by the Hall of Fame committee, who he was only on the ballot a few times and got the lowest marks of almost anybody, considering like there are only like 8 or 9 players who have ever hit over 600 home runs in their career, and he had 609 home runs, 2,400 RBIs, 2,400 hits, 1,667 RBIs, and did all this in a shorter period of time than a lot of folks did. I mean, he at least should have been considered as long as Bonds had. But anyway, Sammy Sosa also seems like an all-around good guy. Like really, he's a Dominican-born, and he does a lot of charity work. Won the Roberto Clemente Award at one point. Was a 7-time All-Star, was the National League MVP in '98 that season with Mark McGwire when they were racing for the home run record. 6-time Silver Slugger Award winner, won the National League Hank Aaron Award in '99. Like I said, the Roberto Clemente Award in '98, that same season. Only led the National League in home runs twice, though, 2000 and 2002. So all 3 of those 60 home run seasons, he did not lead the league, which tells you a little bit about something that was going on in baseball at that time. So regardless, I think, I like Sammy Sosa. I think he got the short end of the stick. That said, I think he probably used performance-enhancing drugs, and he should not have done that. So that's where we are. But here's a nice collection of Sammy Sosa cards. I've got about 55 or 60 of them here that I've collected. A number of rookies. So these are 1990 Donruss. You can see his rookie year. Started off with the Rangers, went to the White Sox, came over to the Cubs in '92 for George Bell. Went to the White Sox in exchange for Sammy Sosa, which for the Cubs turned out to be a great deal because, he reinvigorated Cubs baseball in the late '90s. So there's a 1990 Topps rookie card for him. 1990 Fleer rookie card, a couple of those. 1990 Score rookie card. 1990 Classic rookie card. And 1990 Upper Duck rookie, and he gets a little insignia down there. So, a nice little collection of rookie cards there. Moving on to 1991. Most of my Sammy Sosa stuff is actually all before he became who he was, because I focus on the junk wax era. So, a number of these 1991 Donruss. Notice anything interesting here though? This one has a different stripe pattern than the others. I think because this is the one that I pulled from a set break, a factory field sealed set break, and those often have different stripe patterns. It doesn't make it rare necessarily, but it just does it's a little bit different. So that's kind of cool. Also, these Sammy Sosa 90 Donruss, I think, have incorrect birthdays too. November 10th, 1968, November 10th, 1968, November 10th, 1968. And I think they all might be the same, November 10th, 1968, but I think that is his incorrect birthday. Let's check. His birthday is actually November 10th, 1968, it says right there. So I must have all the corrected ones, so maybe it is a corrected error. Let's just double check right here with the score, with the Fleer. November 10th, 1968. So yep, I must have all the non-error ones for these. All right, moving on. Got all those Donruss. Got a couple 1991 Leaf. Again, he's looking pretty big and strong there too. So they have him listed at 175 at 6 foot. So that is not nearly as big as he was in the late 90s. There's 91 Topps. And then a number of 1991 Score. 1991 Fleer Ultra. 1991 Fleer. Squaring around a bunt, something that he was not known to do much later in his career. 1992. He's still with the White Sox here, but this is the year he gets traded. to the Cubs and spends most of his career with the Cubs. So there's Darnruss, there's Fleer, there's 1992 Topps. You can see those kind of middling home run seasons, 15, 10, not really hinting at all about what was to come for him. I always love this shot of him. It always looks pretty cool, making that catch. The score, 1992 score. And then this is a late series of 1992 Topps Stadium Club, so you can see him in his Cubs uniform. There's his 1990 Topps debut rookie card, which I think is kind of cheap. I think actually this one is actually his rookie card for Topps, but I guess that one did come out earlier. There's a 1992 Studio, which tells us that he likes salsa and merengue music. He also likes Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, so obviously Lethal Weapon is his favorite movie, and he'd like to meet Roberto Clemente. There's his 1992 Upper Deck High Series. Again, him on the Cubs. And here he is, 1993, fully on the Cubs. His Donruss card here. That first year on the Cubs, only playing about a third of the games or so. 1993 Fleer, 1993 Topps Stadium Club, and then on to 1994 Pinnacle. You can see that 93 season, that's when he really ratchets it up with 33 home runs. So at this point, he's still listed at 6'175". So, you know, yeah, I mean, it's just hard to say, honestly. I'm sure a lot of these guys were using questionable substances. Now, whether or not they are illegal, I guess, is the real piece that Sammy was talking about. So this is a 2003 Upper Deck card, and you can see his numbers here. He's got 50 home runs, 64 home runs, 49 home runs, and this is towards the end of his time with the Cubs. He was with the Cubs for, I think, one more season after that. Went to the Orioles and then finished off with the Rangers for one season. Kind of flirted with retirement, went in and out a little bit, and then ultimately retired and just kind of waited back for what he hoped would be some Hall of Fame calls. And, you know, early on in that Hall of Fame discussion around performance-enhancing drugs, he definitely bore the brunt of that, as well as Mark McGwire. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere along the line all this gets turned around a little bit, and you know, the back way end of the Hall of Fame, not through the Writers Association but through the players committees, starts to let some of these PED guys in. So anyway, Sammy Sosa, hats off to you for, you know, making the game exciting for a number of years. I really wish you wouldn't have you know, I don't know, it's hard for me to judge the guy, and I really shouldn't judge anybody for those kind of choices, but anyway, I think it's, for what it's worth, baseball was exciting again for a number of years, whether or not they should have been taking whatever they're taking. But so hats off to you for the good work you've done, at least from a charity standpoint, and hope you get your due someday. There you go. Until next time.